Child Slavery by Irfan Varech, Jenna Estelle, and Harmony Mason.
So what exactly is child slavery? Child slavery refers to the forceful enslavement, exploitation of children under the age of majority.
Often, these incorporate many sectors of work, including domestic exploitation, labor slavery, and sex trafficking.
Child slavery is the product of many factors, such as socioeconomic status, social norms, and lack of lucrative work opportunities. Therefore, child enslavement is an issue of mass proportions that continues to affect children around the globe.
The enslavement of children tends to impact populations that suffer from high poverty rates and low education. Although child slavery is economically beneficial, it leaves victims haunted by traumatic experiences for a lifetime.
Because of the low socioeconomic rates, many families suffering from poverty often sell their children into domestic slavery.
Poverty is the largest factor contributing to child labor and enslavement. Low education rates also factor into this equation.
About 10.5 million children are domestic workers around the world. The majority of these child workers are indentured slaves bound by cultural expectations. Persecution of domestic indenturement is difficult because many cultures do not observe differences between work and family obligations, such as chores.
The horrible reality is that child slavery tends to be economically beneficial. This is because the ratio of work to pay is so disproportionate that much intense labor is done for incredibly cheap. This fact alone is what makes child slavery so preferable and economically beneficial.
Due to the low amount of work, the economies of impoverished nations are compromised immensely. Work done by children, however, significantly reduces labor shortage gaps, thus improving the economy of the country and the socioeconomic status of the family.
The sheer amount of abuse that a child slave endures is unfathomable. The psychological effects resulting from child labor in third world countries are far more intense than the rest of the world due to poverty, low literacy rates, and improper conduct with children.
Depression, hopelessness, shame, guilt, loss of confidence, and anxiety are some of the horrible emotional effects of child labor, leading to a high risk of mental illness. However, the sad part is that these problems only gained attention towards the end of the 20th century.
Child slavery and exploitation is the horrible reality of today. Although child enslavement is prevalent across the globe, developing nations are affected the most. This is because of the lack of sufficient education and high poverty rates.
To combat child slavery, education and awareness on the topic will help to alleviate the problem in communities affected. Governments and organizations should also provide an environment which makes it easier for people suffering poverty to keep their children in school.
Created using Powtoon.